And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Tuesday, February 4th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylie Dedman. An update to the story we broke this morning out of Choctaw County. We now know the name of the murder victim. The OSBI says 21-year-old Dawson Bostick was shot in Grant last night. He later died at a Paris hospital. 21-year-old Ricky Johnson is in the Choctaw County Jail, charged with his murder. Now, this is a developing story, and we will have updates tonight on News 12. A man enters a high school in Texas during a band competition and fires a gun. But a group of dads who are a police officer and 3 military veterans do what they're trained to do. Fox's Abigail Dye reports.
We told you during breaking news how a man walked into Pasadena Memorial High School right here behind me on Saturday night during a band competition and opened fire. One bullet hit a door and the other hit a 26-year-old in the shoulder. Officials say that he's an Angleton High School percussion technical who's expected to be okay. After those shots rang out, these 4 Pearland band dads from left to right, 13-year Air Force veteran Abram Trevino, 13-year Army vet Adam Carreau, 4-year Marine veteran Efrain or Polo Castillo, and 32-year Houston Police veteran Joe Sanchez.
As soon as everyone was screaming, yelling, active shooter, gunshots fired, Joe and myself, we looked at each other and it ran straight to the door. And by that time that we got inside, that's when Polo and Abram was right behind us as a band-dad team.
I grabbed his arms while Adam took the gun out. Then once the gun was removed from his hand, we had no handcuffs. So I took off my belt, made a handcuff.
Joe was trying to secure his right arm while I had his left arm, and Abram was on his legs. And then Adam was actually talking to 911 at that time as well.
But I think anybody with our collective backgrounds would just do that, just out of nature.
After the takedown, officials arrested 84-year-old Dennis Irwin Brandel Jr. Pasadena police say he told them that he thought he was being chased by someone who was trying to kill him and his wife. He drove from his house in Spring to Pasadena. Pasadena police say that the Harris County District Attorney has accepted a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against the suspect, and they say at this point no bond has been set. I'm Abigail Dye for Fox 26 News.
Well, turning to weather now, meteorologist Brian Briggs is with us. Brian, we had a bit of a foggy start to our day, but what can we be expecting now that the sun is up?
It's trying so hard to kind of warm us up here, but that cold front definitely came in with a vengeance. And yeah, we are stuck with a cold day, all things being considered, and definitely a shock to yesterday. It was warm and in the almost 80s by this point yesterday. And yeah, we're running about 20 to 30 degrees colder. That actually gives us air temperatures into the 40s and some lower 50s. But places like Greenville and Paris, still not too bad. That's where that front kind of is, at least stuck to the south and east. So wind-wise, it's a little bit breezy with the north wind, anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles an hour. So it will add a little bit of a chill to the air for that. And yes, even though it is cold today, we are still right in the middle of Fool's Spring, because we still have several more very warm and sunny days to go overall. So the thing is, following Fool's Spring, you see it there, second summer. Yeah, or second winter, I should say. We're not even close to summer yet. Second winter, it's going to be turning colder again. We actually have another front on the way for next week, and we're going to talk about that all in your full forecast here in a minute. Till then, back to you, Kylie.
All right, thank you, Brian. Yeah, this week's weather definitely feels like summer is just right around the corner. Well, dozens of businesses in Oklahoma were closed Monday as protesters took to the state capitol as part of a day without immigrants. It's a movement where people try to show how there would be no work, no school, and no shopping without the work of migrants. Elise Jones reports.
Hundreds gathered at the state capitol Monday protesting immigration policy, and across the metro, open signs remained off and doors locked as businesses stood by their employees in protest.
Every single of our employees and our crew members are Hispanic, so we understand the struggle they're going through. They're worried, and this is the least we could do.
The owners of Taco Empire are from a small town in Mexico. They say while their decision to close might impact business, they hope it leaves a bigger impact.
I hope that everybody can see that a day without immigrants, it may not impact a lot in one day, but if it was like longer than that, you will see an impact.
And it's not just the food industry who closed down Monday.
We can all come together and see how a day without an immigrant is very important.
Those at Primo's Auto Glass say they also wanted to take a stand for their employees and the immigrants who work every day to run businesses in Oklahoma City.
It's not just like food industry. There's roofing companies, construction companies, auto glass companies. You know, there's a lot of companies that immigrants run it.
Most of our employees are not only Mexicans, they're also from Central America, from Honduras, Guatemala. We had some from Peru and some others. So it's not that it's Mexicans supporting Mexicans, it's the whole community supporting everybody.
And that was Elise Jones reporting. This national protest also had several Texas businesses closing their doors as well. Immigrant rights groups have taken legal action against the Trump administration's order to seal off the U.S.-Mexico border to asylum seekers. The group filed a lawsuit in D.C. on Monday. They argue President Donald Trump's proclamation is, quote, is as unlawful as it is unprecedented, end quote. The suit cites his order invoked a section from the Immigration and Nationality Act. The groups argue the president's authority does not allow to expel non-citizens already in the U.S. Trump effectively suspended U.S. asylum law last month. The lawsuit does not seek a temporary restraining order. The American Civil Liberties Union says Trump is overriding Congress with his actions. The lawsuit was filed by several organizations, including the Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. Author Neil Gaiman is being accused of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed Monday. Gaiman is best known for his titles including The Sandman and Coraline. The lawsuit alleges Gaiman violently and repeatedly raped his former babysitter, Scarlett Pavlock. Pavlock is also suing Gaiman's wife, Amanda Palmer, accusing both Gaiman and Palmer of human trafficking. Gaiman has denied all allegations against him, saying all encounters were consensual. United Healthcare has agreed to pay a $2.5 million settlement. Now, this comes after a class action lawsuit claimed the insurance company violated federal law by making unauthorized telemarketing calls using pre-recorded messages. To make those calls are prohibited without the recipient's prior permission. The settlement affects more than 12,000 people. Eligible for payment are those who received one or more pre-recorded calls from United Healthcare Medicare between January 9th, 2015 to January 9th, 2019. Claims can be made online and must be submitted by April 15th. A court is expected to grant the final approval for the settlement on June 20th. The federal minimum wage hasn't been increased since 2009, although dozens of states raised it on their own. But for many workers who have families, it's not enough to live on. Jason Allen has this story.
Tiana Yeldell's long day starts early in the morning. The mother of three gets her kids off to school and then heads to her job at Pizza Hut, where she cooks and delivers. Yeldell lives in Houston. The minimum wage in Texas is the same as the federal minimum wage, $7.25 an hour. She does a little better and gets $9.50 an hour plus tips, but it's not enough.
People, these jobs don't do what they want to do. They're going to pay how they want to pay.
To make ends meet, she has a second job cleaning cars on the city of Houston's metro system. And it's back home where she has little time with her kids.
I work roughly between 75 and 80 hours a week. And it's a lot.
According to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a living wage for one adult raising three kids in the Houston metro area is $57.65 an hour.
Even though minimum wages have gone up in many states and localities, they're still not paying a living wage. What is a living wage? A living wage is a wage that allows workers to be self-sufficient and provide for their families.
Yeldell would like to see Texas raise the minimum wage. Almost 36 states have increased it to $11 an hour or higher. However, higher wages have a huge impact on businesses, who are then often forced to raise prices to stay profitable.
Being a mother, I do what I'm supposed to do for my kids. You know, my children feel like you always at work.
And unfortunately for Yeldell, for now, the long hours are only going to continue. Jason Allen, CBS News, Dallas.
During that campaign, President Donald Trump said he would consider raising the federal minimum wage, but doing so would be, quote, complicated.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.